daily operation. It's a daily operation. It's a daily operation. Just to get a rep. Just to get a rep. Whose house? Whose house? Whose house? Whose house?
All right, so welcome back to the channel, guys. This is your boy Reese with House of Reps. It has been a minute, and let's just loosen up with a little, with a little mic check, 1 2 1 2 1 2. They're both working. Little shadow boxing. Just kidding. It's wrong channel, wrong guy. But check out his channel too. His name's Infamous with Exotic Reptiles. But yeah, let's get back to mine. All right, so today's video, we're going to talk about the white and yellow gene. What it is, what it does, how it works, how to help identify it, because I hear a lot of people always struggle with trying to identify white and yellow. It's an awesome gene, really helps with geckos, like enhancing them and stuff like that. When you cross them to different combinations, they come out super cool, especially with albinos and tangerines. So just even snows, they're really cool with snows too. So we're just going to talk about that today, and yeah, help you out. So what is the white and yellow gene? What does it do, or how's it work? Well, it's a dominant gene. So dominant means we only need one copy of the gene. So most of the offspring, or 50% of the offspring, will carry that gene. So what does the white and yellow gene do? Well, sometimes it's going to make the sides really, really white. It's going to add a lot of yellow pigmentation, some high yellow. It's going to enhance color. Um, it's just going to make the gecko look really cool. So those are a couple of things that it does. Now, when you're working with it and you're crossing it, there's going to be a couple things to look for when the babies hatch, so you know that they in fact got the white and yellow gene. So one of them is going to be the high white sides like normal, and then the yellow pigmentation. Now with certain combinations, you'll see like a faded yellow pattern on the back. That's another good indicator that it's white and yellow, because typically most geckos, they'll either hatch black and white, or black and yellow, excuse me, banded, or depending on the combination, pink and white or whatever. It's usually going to be a combination of two colors, and they're going to be a solid color in that situation. So when you add white and yellow in the baby hatches, it's going to have maybe a little faded yellow markings. You're going to see the pattern, where the pattern is might have small faded edges where it's not completely solid on the sides or the edge of the pattern. So those are things to look for when you're trying to identify white and yellow. There might be a couple other ways. A lot of other breeders have different ways of finding that out. I have a homie that says sometimes he sees an outline of an X in the forehead that indicates a white and yellow sometimes for him, and it works for him. I don't know how he sees that. X marks the spot, but I don't know. So there's different ways to find out if your gecko's white and yellow when we're looking at it. Okay, so with high expression and low expression, helping identify with that, let's start with the easier one, the high expression. So for example, we'll use tangerine, white and yellow. Normally that white and yellow is going to enhance that tangerine color with really bright white sides, and that tangerine is going to pop. It's going to be richer, brighter, really nice looking, you know what I mean? Versus like when you hatch a sibling, you'll see the difference. It'll be like a little bit different tangerine, less bright, stuff like that. So with high expression, you're going to see that. You're going to see intense little outlines around the pattern with a brighter color. If it's albino, it'll usually have like an orange outline around the pattern when it's albino. There's different ways to see that, and that's usually how you can indicate like a high expression white and yellow. Now with a low expression white and yellow, sometimes they can hatch and it might not look like a white and yellow, especially if you're not familiar with it or used to seeing a low expression. So sometimes with a low expression, you really got to catch it at hatch, basically at birth, and really just pay attention and see any little indicator. It might be around the head somewhere where it's like a small fade of pattern around the edge of the pattern. Maybe it had a hint of like a faded color in the beginning when it first hatched that faded away, and then kind of like just kind of settled down and didn't really boost up in that expression. So like again, you got to catch it as a baby. For me, that's just kind of my opinion on that. Then that way you'll know when it gets to an adulthood, because sometimes things from babies to adult, they're not going to look the same, and if you don't know or help identify that at birth, it's going to be harder when it's an adult. Sometimes the opposite. Sometimes you got to let them grow out to identify some things. With white and yellow, sometimes that is the case. Sometimes that's not. I know it can sound confusing, but that's why we're here to talk about it. Okay, so we talked about it. I know you don't want to see my face anymore, so I'm going to show you some geckos, a couple examples. I don't have any low expression examples to show you. I have about maybe a photo I can put, but we're going to just check out some geckos and go over the indicators. Another way to indicate white and yellow whenever you hatch a baby is pretty much the most common traits to look for is the high white side. So if you look at the edge of this gecko, you kind of see a line where the yellow starts and it has a higher white side to it. Then if you look in the middle here, you'll see that faded yellow pattern. Typically with white and yellow, you're going to get some yellow and some white. It's just how white and yellow interacts with different genes is what makes it super cool, and watch the combinations go in different directions. They're not always going to have the same phenotype or same look. Here's another gecko, white and yellow, tangerine albino. So no snow. So when this guy was hatched, again, you can slightly see a fade around the orange pattern. It's not a solid line wherever the pattern stops. It's like a small fade. We see the high white side there. And then of course you see the yellow. But again, the way white and yellow interacts with certain things and kind of enhances it, that's what I love about it. So with it being albino and tangerine, it kind of just made that tangerine pop a lot more. It's like a little cheat code for tangerines. And with the albino in there, that also enhances tangerine sometimes. It's just doubling up on that cheat code in a sense. So it makes it very vivid, makes it pop, colors coming in really nice, really rich. But when this guy was hatched, again, you could tell because there would be some faded yellow down the back. He had some high white siding. And then, like I said, when that pattern, if you can't tell from the first two things, always look at the pattern. And if you look along the edge of the pattern, it's going to have a faded line. It's not going to be a solid. Alright, so now here we have just a white and yellow tangerine, non-albino, non-snow. So again, we see high white sides. You see the yellow. But if you again look at the fadedness around what would be the pattern and how it kind of enhances it and makes that cool contrast between the yellow and the tangerine. All right. Some of those were some pretty geckos there. There were some pretty geckos for sure. But yeah. So if you like that, hope it helped a little bit. It might have been a little more confusing than helpful. Who knows? But shoot me a message, ask questions, comment below. Let me know if it helped. If you have more questions, again, let me know. And yeah, like and subscribe. Check out a video coming this week. I'll have my first live show with guest feature Tiki's Geckos out of Florida. So don't miss that, and we'll see you there. Peace.